Testing, testing. How is the audio? How is the audio? Testing, testing. How is the audio? Thank you, Shay. I'm just going to quickly share the link around and then I will get into it. Just sharing the links and then we will start. Thank you everyone for tuning. Hopefully the audio is okay. I will be discussing the EU and the US, the clashes. How is everybody? Hello, hello. Welcome to episode 108, actually, of the Drew Pavlik Show. Who would have thought 108 episodes? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll give things a moment or two to let some people join. I think we've got 100 people watching on Twitter, only a couple on YouTube. So if you're on Twitter, I encourage you to go through to my YouTube. It's always a lot better. It's always a lot nicer. The quality on YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't think Twitter has cracked streaming yet, unfortunately. But I'd encourage people to go through to my YouTube and leave a like if you're watching. Hello, it's been a while for me. I must have missed 80 shows. That's all right. Somebody says I am a homosexual. No, I'm actually a heterosexual. You're completely mistaken. I'm not Nick Fuentes. Got nothing against the gays, but that's not me. That's not me. Poster Goy says I'm a homosexual. So the Fuentes fans, the Groypers are here, the sickos. Your movement literally had Alexander in your move. You had Ali Alexander in your movement, literally like a gay child sex offender pedo, and Nick Fuentes defended him. So you think you can attack me? Sorry. Stream crashed for a second. But how is everybody? Please let me know how everybody is feeling today. Leave some comments. Hopefully not just the group. Um, we've got an interesting show today. I've lined up an interesting sort of segment on the US and the EU, and I want to discuss that big clash that we're seeing right now. So there's a big clash, of course, and I think it's interesting. Um, certainly very, very interesting. I think it's just very obvious that it's about migration. It's very obvious that it's about demographics and migration. And I think if the European Union leadership fixed the issue of migration, I think the situation would be massively improved, and I think relations would be massively improved. Interesting comment. Drew's a recovering homosexual like Milo Yiannopoulos. He's still getting conversion therapy from the Beat nightclub incident. Very funny. That's very funny. I'm not homosexual, actually. I'm a heterosexual man, but we've got no problem against the gays. Nate says hello. Hello, Nate. How you going? Wagtry. I don't know what that means. Nah, not the Beat the Wickham. Very funny. I just don't understand why the European Union leadership are so obtuse on this matter. I will go into it soon. I'll let a couple more minutes pass, let some more people join. But they are so obtuse on this matter. They genuinely are so obtuse on this matter. I've got the dog on me. I hope that's okay with people. I love my doggy. Um, I'm streaming with the doggy, of course. It's very important. Would you like to say hello, Belle? So cute. Apparently the video was stuck in buffering, but it's okay now. Please let me know. I think it should be okay now. Let me know. My stream crashed for a second, but it should be okay now. The EU was promised to the Somali people 3,000 years ago. Yeah, very, very funny. Very funny. So strange that the leftists are supporting Somali crazy people now. Somali ultra nationalists. Like, have you seen that video of Ilhan Omar, where Ilhan Omar literally says that she wants to expel non-Somali people from Somalia, like just full ethnically cleanse her racial enemies in Somalia, and then like leftists are supporting that and defending that. That's very strange and retarded, of course. Guys, by the way, leave a like on my stream, please. Leave a like if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a like. We've got 100 people watching live on Twitter. Got a small audience on YouTube right now, only 10 people. So if you're on YouTube, leave a like. It's very important. I'd appreciate that significantly if you could leave a like. Helps us reach more people. We're trying to grow the subscriber base there. Takes ages. I've got my YouTube from about 5,000 subscribers at the start of the year to about 10,500 now, but it's just like really slow, unfortunately. I'm stroking my shit. That's disgusting, man. That's fucking evil. Guys, should I get into it? Should I get into the topic, the main topic today, which is the clash between the US and the EU? Let's get into that, I think. Let me get up my my sources. Okay. Hang on, wrong one. Okay, so how do I zoom in? Using a different browser. Sorry about that, guys. That was a bit retarded. I just want to make it look nice for everybody. Okay. I apologize. Okay. So let's go through. So Shashank Joshi, he's a defense correspondent for The Economist, the defense editor for The Economist. Now, Shashank Joshi went through the Trump national security strategy, and he describes it as making Europe white again. That's what Shashank Joshi calls it. And he says, he quotes as part of it, saying, over the long term, it is more than plausible that within a few decades, certain NATO members will become majority non-European, the real and more stark prospect of civilizational erasure. So Shashank Joshi, the editor of the defense section at The Economist, he interprets that as make Europe white again. He sees that as a very hostile thing. Now, this was my response. I just think it wouldn't be good if European countries become majority non-Europeans. Just as I think that, India should be majority Indian, I think China should be majority Chinese. I think Japan should be majority Japanese. I believe in a world of nation states. I believe in a world where, national cultures are kept strong, and culture is this beautiful thing that we preserve. I said this. I said I like a certain level of diversity, but actually pushing the indigenous population into minority status, that is literally a kind of ethnic cleansing. I genuinely think that is like, if you're trying to make European countries majority non-European, that is literally the definition of ethnic cleansing, is it not? We got some comments framing demographic changes. The threat is fear mongering, not fact. Diversity doesn't harm society. Exclusion and prejudice do. Okay, sure. But seriously, can somebody explain why European countries have to become majority non-European? That is not a standard that is insisted upon when it comes to Japan, Thailand, China, India. It's just European countries that are supposed to be majority non-European. And that is literally a form of ethnic cleansing, in my view. Like, if you are intent on trying to terraform the demographics of a society to try and turn the majority population into a minority population, is that literally not ethnic cleansing? That's just ethnic cleansing. You're trying to terraform the demographics of the society. I'm not saying Shashank Joshi wants that. I'm not saying it's even necessarily a deliberate plan. I'm just saying, as a result of current migration policies, this is the observable reality that we are facing, that within 20 to 30 years, there will be multiple countries in Europe that will be minority European. That's just the current trajectory of things. That's just literally the current trajectory. I don't believe it's like this grand conspiracy. I don't believe it's like the Jews doing it. I don't believe it's like people are deliberately trying to do white genocide or anything. I just think the current trajectory that we are on, though, is that European countries will become minority European. That is just the current trajectory. If you just look at the current level of migration, the current way that demographics are working, again, I don't think it's necessarily like, a grand plot or something that like the Jews are doing. I think that's like a mentally ill theory. But is it true that on current trajectories with migration, there will be a crossing over point where, England becomes majority non-English, ethnically non-English? That is the case. There will be a crossing over point where France becomes majority non-French ethnically. That's the current trajectory that we are on. There are multiple countries that are facing this trajectory because that is just the level of migration that they have been taking the past 15 to 20 years, coupled with extremely low birth rates among the native populations. There will be that crossover point. And I just think that's wrong. I think that's sad. Doesn't mean you hate anybody. It doesn't mean that you're against, people based on their ethnicity. I've got no problem with migrants who are assimilated, etc. But we're just talking on the scale. We're talking about scale right now. We're not talking about individual people. I'm sure there are lots of great individual people. I've got nothing against people on an individual basis. And by the way, I like Shashank Joshi. I like his articles in The Economist. I read them all the time. I think he's a good guy. But so no problems against anybody as an individual. We're just asking questions like, should Cyprus become the majority non-Cypriot? Should France become the majority non-French? Should England become the majority non-English? That's a genuine question. That's the current trajectory we are on. And I think I think it's fine to be opposed to that level of migration where people literally become a minority group. I think it's more than fine to just be against the level where people become a minority group. I want to go through some of these comments that we saw. So you got some idiot NAFO account saying the US is our enemy now, which is crazy. And then there's just some cope. The American far right isn't angry at Europe because of migration or free speech. They're angry because Europe disproves their worldview because Europe is doing so well. Europe is not doing so well. This is unfortunately just cope. I'm just telling you, I love Europe. I love Europe. I love Ukraine. But I'm sorry, the European left attitude here is cope. Oh, wow, we've got welfare states, public healthcare, workers' rights, strong regulation, climate protection, secularism. It's not going well, guys. It's literally just not going well. It's not going well. Europe is objectively not going well. They've got sclerotic growth. They've got massive amounts of terrorism. It's not going well, obviously. Oh, wow. MAGA's jealous of America's welfare state. I don't think that. I think it's just pretty obvious that the main issue is immigration. And American right-wingers don't want to see European countries become majority non-European. It's just obvious that this is all about This is all about demographics. This is all about migration. That's the core of this issue. It's so obvious. And if the European Union states just lowered migration, then probably the issue goes away. and probably America and Europe will be much more closely aligned. Some amazing cope here, like Trump wants Europe to wants a Handmaid's Tale Europe where men dominate over everybody. It's just crazy. Like, and I'm massively against Russia and I'm massively in support of Ukraine. I actually disagree strongly with MAGA's position on Ukraine and Russia and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, it's pretty obvious that this is all to do with migration and demographics. And if Europe just fixes the situation with mass migration, then probably the situation would be a lot better. Probably relations between America and Europe would be much stronger. What country would you say is going well? I don't know. There are not many countries doing well in the world right now. I'd say probably America is doing better than a lot of other countries in terms of their economy. I think they're doing a lot better than other countries. Europe is a disaster zone. And I think China has a lot of struggles with demographics and with some trouble. They've got some trouble with debt and, mounting debt, housing crisis, etc. So I wrote this. I said, look, EU leaders, they don't understand why Trump and MAGA are hostile. Actually, it's interesting. Elon liked this tweet. I'll show you. Joe Lonsdale, Elon, pretty cool. So Elon liked my tweet, and this is what I wrote. I said, you want to go, doggy? So Elon liked this tweet, and this is what I said. So the European Union leaders, they don't understand why Trump and MAGA are hostile. And honestly, there's just no mystery. The core fundamental problem is replacement level non-European mass migration to Europe. On current trajectory, several European states will become majority non-European in the next 20 to 30 years. And American right-wingers don't want to see that happen. This is the main thing holding back relations with the US. Just stop this, and it would instantly improve relations. You need to stop replacement level migration. And I'm saying this as someone who loves Europe, believes in Western unity. I believe that Europe and America are part of the same civilization, should be close allies. And Elon liked this tweet. I wrote that and Elon liked this tweet. The problem is that most European political leaders have contempt for their own people and want to dissolve their own nations. And you just need to drastically reduce non-European mass migration and maintain demographic integrity. And that's the main issue that's holding back relations between America and Europe right now. And people are attacking me going, the brownest country in Europe is still at least 50% wider than the US. In fact, it's entirely possible that the US is already majority non-European. This rhetoric seems to be aimed only at those nations that occasionally push back against the excess of sauce. But what the fuck are you talking about? Firstly, the MAGA guys don't even like the fact that demographics are changing in America massively. And then secondly, what the fuck does this have to do with Zog? You think Trump is criticizing, Macron because Macron's anti-Zog? That's mental. What are you talking about? It's crazy. I pointed to this one, right? So the old joke about the East German communists who wanted to dissolve the people and elect another. The problem is basically, I genuinely think this is the mindset of just too many European Union leaders. So this is Die Lösung, the solution. Great poem. After the uprising of the 17th June, the secretary of the Writers' Union had leaflets distributed in the Stalinelli stating that the people had forfeited the confidence of the government and could win it back only by redoubled efforts. Would it not be easier in that case for the government to dissolve the people and elect another? Great poem by Bertolt Brecht. Very funny satire. Basically, this was the mindset of the communists: dissolve the people and elect another. And this is unfortunately, I think, the mindset of a lot of European Union leaders today: dissolve the people and elect another. And I want to point this out to liberals, like mass demographic replacement level migration is not good for liberal causes either. So let's go through this. It actually appears that vast levels of migration to Western countries from non-Western countries have started to influence national level polling about, for example, historical events like the Holocaust. It's not necessarily a sign that morality has changed, just the people making up the country have changed. So the mass murder, the killings of World War II and the Holocaust, they traumatized Westerners to the extent that they remain core to the Western moral understanding of the world a century later. But a lot of non-Westerners just don't really seem to care. I remember there was this article in The Economist discussing a meeting between Angela Merkel and Xi Jinping, where she was patiently explaining that Germany remained horrified by its World War II history. She explained that this was a key influence on German political thought, her political thought, And Xi just basically completely dismissed it as a triviality, completely irrelevant to China. He just said there was basically no lesson for them in avoiding the atrocities of World War II. They just said, like, that's a European problem. It's not for China. It's not for the third world. Non-Westerners just don't really seem to care much about, like, the history of World War II and the Holocaust. This stuff was traumatic for Europeans. It was traumatic for the West. It's so central to how we understand the world, but just doesn't seem like it is that important to them. I learned this after October 7. I saw so many Arab and Muslim accounts on Twitter constantly downplaying, trivializing the Holocaust, something that's irrelevant. Their posts would receive tens of thousands of likes. I'd often see third worldist accounts accrue hundreds of thousands of likes, claiming that Europeans only memorialize the Holocaust because Jews are white. That's what these third worldist accounts would say. That's their argument. They would say, oh, well, the Holocaust is nothing next to European colonial atrocities in Africa. This is what they'd say. They'd say that, Belgian Congo was worse. And I just genuinely think, like, there's evolving morality, like the things that we care about as Westerners, as Europeans, the things that are important to our moral universe, as avoiding the atrocities of World War II, avoiding the atrocities of the Holocaust, just not that important to non-Westerners. And Europeans comprise 25% of the global population in the middle of the 20th century. It's now 8 to 9%. And then as the European population just declines globally within the United States, less and less people care about the World War II and the Holocaust. 77% of Hispanic GOP voters deny the Holocaust. Like, that means at least 37% of Hispanics in America do, probably more than that. The moral consternations of white America simply dissolve into the air. Really disturbing. So this was my post to Donald Tusk. He said, "Dear American friends, Europe is your closest ally, not your problem. And we have common enemies. At least that's how it has been in the last 80 years. We need to stick to this. This is the only reasonable strategy of our common security unless something has changed." This is what I said, right? I'm somebody who's I'm in a unique position because I'm a huge supporter of Ukraine and Europe, but I also support Trump's position on migration. So I want to try and bridge the divide. I want to bridge the divide because I support Ukraine, I support Europe, I support Western unity between the European Union and America. I fully supporting Ukraine. I was there on the front lines in Ukraine. I went to Kherson earlier this year. This is a photo of me in Kherson in front of the municipal building in Kherson. After I visited this building, the Russians blew it up a couple months later. I was there this year, so I've got some credibility as somebody who's a full supporter of Ukraine. I'm not like a typical sort of MAGA guy. I disagree with Trump on a lot of things. I just agree on migration. And this is what I just said to Donald Tusk. The main problem is that the EU leaders keep supporting replacement level non-European migration to Europe. On the current trajectory, several EU states will become a majority non-European within the next 20 to 30 years. This is what America has a problem with. They don't want to see Europeans become a minority in European cities and states. We've already seen this happen in cities like Brussels. And if you stop mass non-European migration to Europe and show that you care about stopping it, relations will instantly improve. That's honestly what I believe. That's genuinely what I think. And someone said, no one in Europe, apart from Jeremy Corbyn type, support replacement level non-European mass migration to Europe. This is a fairy tale made up by the far right and amplified by Russia. And it's like, but this is actually happening. Brussels as a city, for example, has been completely demographically transformed over the past 50 years. 2021, there are parts of Brussels where less than 10% of the population is of Belgian origin in Brussels. So it is happening. There's mass migration changing this face of European cities and states. It's replacement level migration. What happens when you have parts of the city that are literally 10% Belgian? That's crazy. And Julian Hoers, he follows me, by the way, this guy. He says, I don't think that Americans quite understand just how sick and tired of their bullshit we Europeans actually are. And my answer to this is simple. Europeans need to stop buying Russian oil, restart nuclear energy, rebuild European sovereign energy production, drastically increase defense spending, dramatically lower non-Western migration. Then Europe can talk. Until then, Europe can't talk because Europe cannot make itself sovereign. Europe has the economic power to make itself sovereign, but it doesn't do it. It keeps on buying Russian oil. They're shutting down nuclear energy. They're making themselves dependent on foreign energy imports. Europe doesn't have to do this. It's up to Europe to demonstrate its actual seriousness here. Dramatically increase defense spending, restart nuclear production, dramatically lower non-Western migration. You could do it, and then things would be much more serious. And look, just to summarize, right? I need to remind the Western dissident right figures, the guys who think that Russia is sympathetic. I want to remind them They're not a base civilizational alternative to the EU. The people that think, I need to make this clear. People who think that Russia is this sort of base civilizational alternative to Europe, that is not the case. Putin is literally in India right now trying to import large amounts of low-skilled labor. They're trying to import millions of Indian workers to Russia to make up for labor shortages. They've got labor shortages because they sent so many people to Ukraine and so many Russians fled the country because of the war, and they want to replace the Russians that they lost with Indian workers. And so you think that Russia is this sort of base civilizational alternative. It's literally not at all. So people need to know that. People need to know that. And I want to say Europe has a point as well. So again, I agree with the Trump administration that mass migration from the non-Western world and Islamism, they pose this massive existential threat to European civilization. But Russia is equally a massive threat, massive existential threat. When Russian Chechen fighters conquered Mariupol, they chanted Allahu Akbar over the burning ruins of a city named for Mary, the mother. So that's the base civilizational alternative to Europe, apparently. Russian, Chechen, Islamist fighters, like ethnically cleansing Ukrainian European Christian cities named after Mary, the Mother of God, and chanting Allahu Akbar. So again, I hate the retarded arrogance of European Union leaders. I understand why people hate their hypocrisy, failing to defend their own national borders while talking tough on Russia when obviously it's just hypocrisy because they still buy Russian oil. So I understand the hypocrisy is so annoying. But we shouldn't abandon millions of Ukrainians to live under Russian military occupation just because we hate retarded, arrogant EU leaders. Terrible quality of European Union leadership does not in any way justify the vast corruption and brutality of the Russian third worldist empire. Simple. 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 So that's my segment. That's my segment on the US and the EU. I'll clip that up probably and put that into a YouTube video, I think. I think so. I'll probably clip that up later. Yusuf points out Crimean Tatars have chanted Allahu Akbar at Russia. The Crimean Tatars are not ethnically cleansing cities, though. Crimean Tatars are part of the Ukrainian nation. Whereas, like, Russia brings in these Islamist Chechen fighters that have nothing to do with Ukraine, and then they're ethnically cleansing Christian cities. That's completely different, right? Let me quickly go through some of the comments that I've missed over the past, like, little monologue that I was giving. By the way, guys, if you're watching, please leave a like. I appreciate it. It would help me reach more people. We've got 18 people watching live on YouTube. So if you're watching live on YouTube, leave a like. Very important, guys. Please leave a like. And make sure to subscribe as well. I'm 108 episodes into the Drew Pavlis Show. Going to start streaming again, hopefully every day. I streamed yesterday. It was good fun. So I'm streaming again today. I think we've got 20 live viewers on YouTube. So if you're watching, please leave a like. It helps us reach more people. Make sure to subscribe. I think we've got 100 people watching on Twitter. So if you're watching on Twitter, you should go through to my YouTube. It's a lot better. Helps me build my numbers. Drew kind of looks like Ricky Berwick. I don't know who that is. The putting people in jail for social media posts pisses MAGA off more than what the EU does with their own borders. That's a big part of it as well, of course. Shay Cohen came here because I saw that post of yours and agreed. Thank you, man. Would Filipino migrants still be fun? Dude, I've got no problem with people on an individual level. I'm sure that there are great, nice people on an individual level from Philippines, and in small numbers, people who fully assimilate. I've got no problem with people coming in small numbers who fully assimilate. But we're talking about when we take in people at such a large level that the actual complete demographics of the society are transformed. That's what we're criticizing. By the way, this notion that leftism is only recently becoming anti-Semitic is bullshit. First time I heard when I was a preteen and still hadn't understand it, explicit leftist anti-Semitism and even praise of Hitler was my anarchist leftist Spanish and mentally ill dad. Okay. Did you see the car ramming in France Christmas market yesterday? I think it was in a French overseas Caribbean department in the Caribbean, right? It was fucked up. It was horrific. Drew, would you support a majority female-only immigration policy? Yeah, the Ali G fit migrant policy. This is what we support, by the way. This is the ideal Western migration policy. It's a great policy. It's a Oh, hang on, wait, was the audio not working? Oh, only you can hear the video. Oh, that sucks, that sucks. I don't know why that's the case. That's so sad, it was such a good video, that's such a good video. Damn. Why is that? I don't know. Oh, that's so sad. It was the Ali G. It's the beautiful Ali G clip where he says that where he says that only the fit ones should be allowed in. Very funny, very funny. Sure, you liking Ali G makes so much sense. Ali G was funny as fuck. I was like a kid and my dad showed me Ali G. Let the fit ones in, yeah. Yeah, I support the pro-Ukraine Muslims. Damn, why did my audio not work? That sucks. That sucks. I'm worried that fucks up my whole video. Why is that? Why is that? Hmm. I can hear it, but I don't know why others can't hear it. That's weird. Hmm. There's so many things I don't know how to do with my streaming. It just always messes up. I wanted to play that for everyone. There's such a funny episode where it's Ali G's solution to the migration crisis. By the way, I got 25 people watching live. Thank you guys. Please make sure to leave a like. It helps us reach more people. Can you hear this? If I play this, can you hear this? Listen, I don't support what the UAE is doing in Sudan. I think it's too brutal. It's too brutal. It's psychotic. I don't support what the UAE is doing in Sudan. Ali G and Borat are kind of political though as well. Goaded. I love Alex Karp. Alex Karp is goaded, man. He's goaded. He's a cool guy. Let's talk about the Somalis mocking the Holocaust. That's mental. Let's talk about that. The Somalis mocking the Holocaust. Never again the Somali Holocaust. These people hate America so much. They have so much contempt for Westerners. They have contempt for things that we care about morally. Why are these sort of Somali ultra nationalists living in the West? Again, if there's a Somali person who fully assimilates, like Ayaan Hirsi Ali, I think she's a legend. But somebody who's like an ultra nationalist who hates white people, why the fuck are you in the country? Check the audio sources. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Honestly, if you're like a Somali ultra nationalist mocking America and the Holocaust and joking that you're going to ethnically cleanse Americans, like you're getting deported. You have to get deported. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Ayaan Hirsi Ali is a cool woman. She's a smart woman. She's amazing. Ayaan Hirsi Ali is like the most advanced, assimilated person from Somalia ever. She's a legend. Actually, I'll try. Let me see if I can do a podcast with her or something like that because she follows me. I didn't realize she follows me. Maybe it's just me, but I'd much rather have an entire Somali immigrant family with 2 happy trans kids living right next door to me than a white supremacist or a racist MAGA lunatic any day of the week. Like, how many Somali people are trans? How many Somali people are happy with transgenderism? Don't think many people like ask the average Somali person what they think of trans people. Like Somali's extremely conservative. They're Islamists, a lot of them. All this aura just to miss Haifa and kill 10 Druze kids. Yeah, Hezbollah's a joke, eh? They're great at making music videos, but they can't fight wars. How woke are you? Support people of color, red. Support gay rights, red. Support Palestine, red. Support disabled people, green. Support the environment, no. Support. That's so funny. Posts all these things. Good on him. I think Makita's bisexual, so he posts all these things. Good on him. Very funny. I'm gonna do the lion emoji. No one cares about skin color, where they're from. It's all about values and ideology. I think that ideology and culture is the most important thing. You're a brown Middle Eastern man. You can keep saying that, but I'm a Greek Orthodox Christian from Cyprus. I'm Greek. It's very funny that people like to go down that route. It's actually amusing. It's just amazing, right? Like these guys, the Somali ultranationalists, they're 0.05% of the total American population. And they're posting like this. Like it's pretty arrogant, don't you think? It's not exactly a good strategy, is it? It's not a good strategy. Like you're talking yourself into getting deported. I'm just saying. Like you're boasting that you're going to ethnically cleanse white Americans. Like you're 0.05% of the population. Good luck. You're going to get deported. It's unfortunate, but like the ultra nationalist psychotic ones, like they're obviously they're talking themselves into getting deported. You're a brown migrant from the Middle East in Australia. They would have put you in a migrant camp like they did so many other Greeks. No, my family came under the White Australia policy, retard. My great grandfather came to Australia in 1950 during the White Australia policy. That's my great grandfather on my mother's side, my fourth generation. And then on my father's side, I'm third generation Australian. He also came during the White Australian policy in the late 60s. So obviously, Australia considered Greek people to be white. I'm not endorsing the White Australia policy. I'm just responding to people saying, "Oh, Drew, you're a brown man and you've betrayed the fellow global brown alliance." Like, no, dude, that's not true. My family migrated to Australia under the White Australia policy. I have never experienced discrimination. I'm like pretty obviously white. I'm not allowed to say the N word, am I? If I'm black and if I'm brown, I'm allowed to say the N word, but I'm not. So I'm obviously not. Drew, do you consider Greek as white? Like, I'm obviously white. People have treated me like I'm a white person my entire life. Like this whole thing, oh, Greeks are brown. Drew is a brown man in denial. Like, my whole life I've been treated like I'm white. I'm not allowed to say the N word. I remember in school, I was rapping along to some great hip hop songs and people got mad at me for saying the N word. So I'm not actually a black man, am I? Cyprus is also not the Middle East. I mean, Cyprus is part of Europe. Cyprus is a European Union state. Identify as a European, identify as a white person, identify as a Westerner. It's pretty obvious. Like it's you're West Asian. Okay, yeah, sure, dude. The Greek Cypriot ancestry is the closest to ancient Greek ancestry, according to genetic studies. Greeks aren't white, just like Jews aren't white. We don't fit into binary. I don't believe in that. I honestly think most Jewish people are white, and I think most Greek people are white. Maybe you get some exceptions, but it's pretty obvious. Like, my personal theory is I think Greek leftists identify as non-white and non-Western, and I think Greek conservatives identify as white and Western. And I think that's that's a big divide in sort of like Greek internal politics. And my family were always on the side of being part of the West. My family literally fought to try and unify Cyprus and Greece. When I was growing up, my grandparents always taught us, "You're not Cypriot, you're Greek." That's what I was always taught when I was growing up. I'm very obviously a Greek person, so it's just funny. I don't really give a fuck, but it's just funny. White men are the single greatest threat to people being fed, housed, and clothed. That's insane. Great tweet. I'm going to retweet him. I like Hunter Ash. Haber-Bosch process, which enables modern agriculture. 2 German white men. Classical physics, on which all modern construction techniques are based. White European white men. Modern textile manufacturing, British white men. Telecommunications and computing, which enable complaining white men and a white woman. Have other groups contributed, of course, but in terms of global alleviation of poverty, white men top the charts. Progress does not come primarily from goodwill and generosity of spirit. It comes from production and deployment of new knowledge. All other improvements are mere transfers. Only knowledge grows the total amount of human wealth. If people like this got their wish, if they managed to tear down Western civilization and loot its corpse, they would sit in the ashes until they starved, all the while wondering when the magic that made us rich would descend upon them. Yep, true. Fact check, true. You look Turkish. That's funny. A lot of Turkish people look white because like half of them are actually Greek. Half of the Turkish population are Greeks who converted to Islam. So Turkish people who look white are Greek people, most of all. It's pretty funny. This is a funny comment. Lamayo, I'm Greek, and I'm the whitest motherfucker you'll ever see. Greek leftists pretending, thinking they are brown, make me spew. It's like Greek leftists trying to get POC points. And I know that because I was like 20 years old and I tried to get POC points. I remember when I was like a leftist and I was like 20 years old and I wanted to like be accepted in like retarded gay race communist spaces. And I'd try to be like, oh, I'm Greek, I'm brown too. And it's like, even then, no one on the left actually believed me. Even then, all the leftists were like, no, actually, Drew, you're white. And then now that I'm like 26 and I just accept that I'm white, then people go, oh, Drew, you're not white. Well, the leftists all told me that I'm white, so that's why I'm white. You were so embarrassing to Greeks. You're a dog for Anglo-Saxons. You will never be a Saxon. You're fucking retarded. I believe in Western civilizational unity. The Greeks formed at the start Western civilization. We were the foundational basis of Western civilization. Benito says, it's cool that we got someone from Spain. Thanks for joining, Benito. One of the good things about Spain is this whole racial thing is not a thing at all, even when some activists have been trying for the past 10 years to make it so. Unrelated to there being some racism, but we just don't think or talk in these terms. Even more somewhat racist people, it's generalizing against one or two specific groups. Yeah, it's interesting. You need to define what white is. Last century Jews were definitely not considered white, and half don't even have white skin color. I don't care personally. My skin is white as snow, but they will always call me Jew. Yeah, look, interesting question. I honestly just, the way I deal with this stuff is I just like, okay, does somebody look white? And okay, my understanding is that they're white. Like, I don't see it that deep, you know? I don't think the right wingers did any background on this. They seem totally unprepared for what they've started. Like, wow, we're scared of Somalis. Okay, yeah, we're so scared of. Dude, do you like Persian people? I have a lot of Persian friends. I love Persian people. Do you consider Turks white? Some Turkish people are white. Like Hassan Parker is like pretty obviously a white guy. Like I don't like Hassan Parker. He's obviously a white guy. Shooting for 2 seconds. Drew's Nazi audience is saying Drew's not white. Clay stream. That's pretty funny. Do you tan or burn in the sun? When I was younger, I tanned a bit in the sun, but these days I burn because I don't get outside enough. So when I go outside, I get burnt. The Greeks accomplished bugger all as a people. A few people, philosophers, advanced something interesting in philosophy, but they did fuck all to advance Western values. Okay, dude, tell us what ethnic group you belong to. Tell us what you contributed to the world. Ask one Somali tribe what they think of the other tribes, and you would think they're part of the KKK. Yeah, I know that's true. This is Cope. The thing the world horribly misjudges is where Moscow, Washington, and Beijing agree in unison. They think Europe is bad at war and weak, but we are good, so good at war. We are scared of it ourselves, and you're forcing us back in the business. We actually want you to rearm. We actually want you to rearm. Unlike the Portuguese, my people. What's Portugal contributed the past 300 years? Tell us that. Like you did some good exploring like 600 years ago. It's kind of been all decline for the past 300 years, hasn't it? One nation share of the primary vote by income demographic. Under 45K, 20%, 16%, 14, 18% for 200K. It's a barbell. The middle classes don't like one nation, but the very wealthy and then the very poor. A lot of people think CEOs are on coke or stimulants because of how hyper they look in interviews, but I think the unfortunate truth is that natural amount of energy is extremely unequally distributed. Yeah, Alex Karp is just obviously ADHD, and I relate to him because I'm ADHD too. We should tax trillionaires out of existence. Wow, so powerful. I agree with Sean McGuire. He created everything he has from nothing, and none of it would exist if he didn't fight to create SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, etc. from nothing. Portugal gave us good chicken. That is true. That is true. We love Nando's. Nando's is a goated institution. I love Nando's. Nando's is one of the best restaurants in the world. Actually, I might go get Nando's for lunch. Portugal advanced civilization in multiple continents around the world. Like, dude, the past 200 years haven't really been that good for Portugal, but okay. Portugal's empire only ended in 1975. Yeah, dude, like the Portuguese bush wars in Africa were retarded. Like you were holding on to Mozambique, it was retarded. Wow, Portugal's great empire in Mozambique. Like it's not that good, dude. I like Portugal, but you gave the world Bruno Marseilles, and I hate that guy. I like Cristiano Ronaldo though. I like Ronaldo. I'm only going against Portugal because this guy in the chat is Portuguese and he's saying that the Greeks are all like pigs. No, the Greeks contribute a lot more to civilization than the Portuguese. I'm just saying. In 1916, Greeks were deemed enemy aliens after the 1916 secret census, and Greeks were in migrant detention during the 50s and 60s. Okay, if the Greeks were in migrant detention in the 50s, why is it the case that my great-grandfather migrated to Australia in 1950 and was not put into detention? He lived normally. Like, you're just living in like this alternative schizophrenic universe. Alex Carpenter's biography said he had Mexican Coke before interviews, and then later in the book, he mentions it's a no sugar diet. I don't know if that's true. Although Nando's. Nando's is the goated. Nando's is goated. I'm actually going to get Nando's for lunch. I feel like Nando's now because the chat reminded me of Nando's. By the way, guys, if you're watching, leave a like. You have to leave a like on the show. Leave a like and subscribe. I've got 30 live viewers on YouTube right now. You have to leave a like so YouTube recommends me to more people in the algorithm. Please do it. We're trying to build the stream. We have to build a stream. Share the stream with your friends. Share the link to your friends. Please, we're trying to grow things. 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 It's very important. I need your help. I need to make it as a big streamer. I'm trying very hard. It's very slow. It's very torturous. I need your help to grow. I need everyone's help. I need your help to grow. I've been trying very difficult. Very difficult. Nando's is South African. True, but it is inspired by the Portuguese. Constantinople. ADHD can give you superpowers. I love ADHD. I love having ADHD. It's actually very helpful. I literally love having ADHD. I don't think I would be as smart if I didn't have ADHD. I think I would be less effective as an individual. I think ADHD is literally my superpower. I love having ADHD. I think so much. I think so deeply about the world. So this guy is a Greek leftist. Okay. Fuck off, communist. I don't have any alignment with Greek communists. Fuck you. You're a jobless loser, and I'm so embarrassed that I have to share an ethnicity with you. Yeah, you're not Greek because you're a communist. Fuck you. You'll never be white. You're huffing copium like you wouldn't have been lynched in the 1916 race riots. You have no morality or politics outside of pandering. I'm Greek. I'm European. My country, Cyprus. My family's homeland, Cyprus. Not my country because I'm fourth generation Australian, but my family's homeland, Cyprus, is a European Union state. My ethnic background is fully European. I identify with the West. Everyone sees me as a white person. Leftists tell me all the time, like until like 6 months ago, leftists were saying, "Oh, Drew's a white supremacist. He's a white supremacist." Blah blah blah. I'm fucking white. It's so obvious. I'm not allowed to say the N-word. Oh, you're a Greek. You're not a real Greek like me. You're a communist. Fuck you. I don't believe that Greek communists are real Greeks. Fuck you. Nixon's VP was literally called Spiro. You don't get any more Greek than the name Spiro. We love Spiro Agnew. Very corrupt guy. I don't agree with him, but he was a Greek. You will never be white. You have to identify. If you're Greek, you have to identify with the Global Brown Alliance against white people. Fuck you. No thanks. I don't identify with your weird, creepy Global Brown Alliance resentment against white people. That's fucking weird. All my friends growing up were white. I went to a school that was 99% white Anglo. All my friends were white. I identify with white people. I like their culture. You're not going to make me align with the global race communists, brown people resentment alliance against white people. Fuck you. I'm not interested. I like white people. I don't hate them. I like white people. I like white history. I like white culture. And I don't hate white people. And fuck you if you want me to be some Greek communist race resentment merchant against white people. And I don't know, like harbor this kind of like race warfare mindset against white people for no reason. Sorry, Greek people are not brown. Greek people founded Western civilization. I'm not joining your fucking weird, creepy race resentment alliance. Fuck you. Literally, fuck you. Drew, explain to me what Greece has accomplished any time in the past 300 years. They're a fallen civilization. They're corrupt. Everyone's dependent on public service jobs or welfare. Are you fucking kidding? Portugal's one of the poorest countries in the EU. You don't have any leg to complain. You don't have any leg to stand on. Portugal's one of the poorest countries in the entire EU. They have corruption in Portugal too. So just fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. Greek people are not brown. Idiots think Portuguese are brown too. Australians have a skewed view of what white people means. Greeks are white, Portuguese are white, Italians are white. People who think otherwise are retarded. It's just obvious. But Drew, do you love the Anglosphere and its traditions and people and language? Yeah, I do. I do. I love the Anglosphere. When I went to Oxford, I spoke at the Oxford Union. It was one of the greatest achievements of my life. And going to Oxford, I felt like I was home. Just so funny that they want me to join this sort of like weird, creepy race resentment alliance against white people. Fuck you. I'm not interested. Ian Carroll desperately pleads with Nick Fuentes to subscribe to the narrative that Israel is responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. This is supposed to be your moment, and you've generationally run right to Steve Crowder's show to hang out with the Fed slop narrative. That's so funny. Imagine being too retarded for Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is actually smart on this. I don't like Nick Fuentes, but at least he realizes that Israel didn't kill Charlie Kirk. That's literally an idea for retarded people from the third world. Like, it's literally a third world slop narrative. It's retarded. If you believe that, you're retarded. Drew, you and I both know Greece and Portugal have fallen to the socials, and recovering from that is going to be extremely hard. I agree with you. Dude, I don't know why you started out so hostile attacking Greek people. I like Portuguese people. So why did you start attacking so brutally Greek people? And like now suddenly you're agreeing. Now suddenly you're saying that there's a unity between Greece and Portugal where we've both been crushed by socials. I agree with you there. Why did you start by coming out so hard against the Greeks? We have a lot in common, the Greeks and the Portuguese. So why did you start by attacking us so brutally? Fuck you. Drew, you're a fan of the French. I love the French. I love the French. I like French people. Two graceful, intelligent responses to media attacks I've seen recently. Zoran Mamdani and Somali Twitter. 99% of people just chimp out like stupid apes. Somalis, on the other hand, behave like Homo sapiens. I'm starting to believe that they may indeed be a chosen people. Now, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah, what is this? What are you talking about? Somali ultranationalists have spent the past 3 days on Twitter gloating about stealing things from white people. What have the Greeks done in the past 300 years? They created Drew Pavlik. Yeah, so true. That's a great achievement, actually. So true. Fact check true. True, because you need to be able to look at the failings of our own people to be able to make an honest assessment of how broken it is so it can be fixed. Well, I agree there's a lot of stuff broken with Greek culture. I identify with Australia. I identify with the West. I don't necessarily... I've never lived in Greece. Just you started out by attacking like all Greek people from a racial perspective, though. Here the Greek communist comes back. The Greek communist comes back. Let's read this. I cannot believe a fat Middle Eastern man, because Cyprus is in the Middle East, that's a geographical fact. It doesn't matter that it's in the EU. It is a European country, retard. It doesn't have a real job. I have a real job here. I make money from being a social media commentator. It doesn't have a college degree. I have a college degree. I'm graduating next week. Is one that's anti-immigration, fighting for standards and ideals that never included people like him. I'm a Westerner. I'm European. I believe in the West. Why should I support infinity migration from the third world when I'm a fourth generation Australian who's never lived in anything other than a first world country, who my entire allegiance is to Australia and the West? Why should I have this weird race resentment against white people? Why should I have this weird kind of alliance, a global brown alliance against white people? That's fucking weird. I love Australia. I love the West. I like white people. I don't hate people because of their race. I'm a European. My family are fourth generation Australians. You want me to pretend that I'm like this like persecuted Somali migrant in Australia? Like, no, I'm not actually. I'm European. Just weird, just very strange. I've lived in Portugal and was extremely poor, born in Brisbane and live in Brisbane. I love Australia and I sure hope we don't follow the same path. True, we don't want to go down the same path as some of these unfortunately broken states in the European Union. Have you heard of Aphrodite Latinopoulou? I don't know. Somali ultra-nationalism is a joke to make fun of Israeli. It's satire. But then again, I don't think you've ever seen a DBQ and kind of like, yeah, I don't think it's satire. If you ask the average Somali person what they think of, you know, a tribe that's not their own tribe, they want to kill them. They sound like the KKK. So I don't think it's just satire, actually. Let me read your comment on the EEC. The EU is toast. We need to return to the EEC and let the countries stand on their own 2 feet rather than be dependent on the welfare of the EU so we can recover any kind of national pride. Listen, I support the EU. I think the EU needs to be reformed, though. Democratize the EU. And I think the EU should function as a kind of like civilizational bloc rather than just kind of like union for leftists. I believe in like a kind of civilizational project. I believe in civilizational unity for the West. I believe in Europe coming together as a civilizational project. I think that's a great thing for Europe if they can do it. I love Camille Galiv about most subjects. I like his likes too, but when it comes to Israel or most things related to Islam, he suddenly becomes delusional. I assume his environment doesn't leave him with any choice. Yeah, I know. Listen, Camille is a smart guy. He has a lot of good takes on Russia, but he goes very strange when it comes to Islamism. I don't know. Maybe is he a Muslim guy himself? Maybe he has kind of like a sort of like personal stake in this sort of stuff. Today, Palestinians lit the Bethlehem Christmas tree. Like the Palestinians have unfortunately ethnically cleansed a lot of Christians. Christian population of Bethlehem decreased from about 50% when the Palestinian Authority began to govern the town to less than 10% today. No, the Somalis are actually aggressively nationalistic. There's a reason they fought their neighbors to grab more land they claim is ancestrally Somali. The problem is that the Somali politicians in the US want to stop us from pursuing our interests vis-a-vis Somaliland for the sake of their national project. Yeah, that's true. It's the Somali ultra-nationalists. That's the problem. They literally want to conquer Ethiopia. Drew, are there Somalians in Australia? Yeah, there is. And I had actually some Somalian friends in my football team when I was growing up. There's some. I think there are actually some pretty funny Somali people. There are some Somali guys that have been really funny that I've known in my lifetime. I just don't like Somali ultranationalists who hate white people. It's pretty funny. The guy that I was best friends, the Somali guy that I was closest friends with of all the Somali guys in my football team, he's now a cocaine dealer. It's pretty good. He makes a lot of money. I think he's flying around on private jets. I see him on Instagram. I don't have proof that he's a cocaine dealer. It seems he is though. Because I think he dropped out of school and he's now like on a private jet and shit. I think he's selling coke, but that's okay. $34 people watching live. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you're watching live, please make sure to leave a like. It's really helpful. If you leave a like, it helps me reach more people. Yeah, leave a like, guys. It's really helpful when you leave a like. And make sure to subscribe. That's a good take by Camille, actually. A lot of young people don't want to fight anywhere. In the Ukrainian war, I'm increasingly seeing the whole detachments of 50-plus-year-old men. That's crazy with the Russians. Ukrainians also have some pretty old soldiers too. Interesting book. I'm going to look into that. The Habsburgs. Fascinating. I like that guy. This guy has some very interesting takes. Glenert, very smart guy. Audio okay? Drew, what exactly do you disagree with Nick on? I disagree with his Hitler support. I disagree with his hatred for Jewish people. My son said he hated me because I wouldn't let him have a second bowl of ice cream. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told where they're going to do and work. Yeah, the Australians. That's literally what happened to the Australians. Fuentes also hates women and black people. Of course, I disagree with him on that too. I like black people. I like women. Okay, I like black people. I like women. I like rap. I like rap. I like hip hop. I like a lot of black culture. Great people. Obviously, I don't like sort of like ghetto culture. I don't think anyone does. But I like Tyler Creator. I like Kendrick Lamar. You know. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got I think 35 people watching live on YouTube and a couple hundred on Twitter. If you're watching, make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate it. Anybody leaves a like, it helps us reach more people. Make sure to subscribe as well. Look at this, right? Polling in South Australia, the Liberals are down to 20%. That's crazy. They're getting crushed. Trump sends the US Navy to harass narco-terrorists and everyone loses their mind. China systematically rapes the oceans all over South America and the media shrugs. Yeah, good point. Great tweet. Kenneth is an elitist. Works for the three biggest conservative media companies. Prager, TP USA, Daily Wire, has regularly attended events with the president. Yeah, wife of a literal aristocrat. I agree. I hate Fuentes. Hey, I've watched Drew since before he went right. I remember when he was a Destiny fan. Yeah, I was left for a while. Took me a while. Who's worse, Fuentes or Tucker Carlson? I actually don't know. That's a good one. Maybe Tucker, because I think Tucker is actually more pro-Russia at this point. But Fuentes is more Hitler-like than Tucker. Tucker masks it a bit more. What about the Musk-Fuentes ratio you started? That was pretty funny. I still can't believe that. It's very strange that Elon was attacking Fuentes in my posts. It's crazy. Can't believe it. I'm still just like a pretty small account from suburban Brisbane, Australia. So to be involved in that sort of stuff is crazy. It's pretty cool to have Elon following. You should put on some music in the background for the vibes. You're trying to get me demonetized. Candice has lost her mind. Yeah, Candice is like fully mentally ill. I think Candice is schizophrenic. Drew, do you think Nick is gay? I think it's pretty obvious that Nick Fuentes is gay, don't you think? It's extremely obvious Nick Fuentes is gay. He's constantly talking about like how having sex with women is gay. He has crushes on femboys or cat boys or whatever. He's extremely gay. It's so obvious. Fuentes is like literally one of the most gay people like to ever exist. Israel is a repeat of what the West did in Australia, New Zealand, USA, and Canada. Yeah, so you're just anti-West. Okay. I'm pro-West, so I don't subscribe to your alliance of hatred and resentment against white people. Nick streamed himself watching gay porn and blamed the IDF. That was very funny, actually. I remember I posted that, actually. I was one of the accounts that broke that story. This is a great tweet. A guy from Somalia says he's not an N-word because he believes Somalis are ethnically distinct from African Americans. Kindly drop, I believe this requires an epistemology of the N-word and inter-African racial distinctions graphic for people to better understand. Fascinating. Oh my god, the Greek communist is back. Drew is a brown neo-Nazi. Like, I just don't understand. I look white. I don't understand. Like, look at my skin color. It's fucking white. What am I supposed to do? It's fucking retarded. What am I supposed to do? I don't even understand it. Like, I get sunburnt if I go outside. What am I supposed to do? I literally get sunburned if I go outside. What the fuck am I supposed to do? People are fucking mental. Like, yeah, I'm a brown guy. I get sunburnt when I go outside. What am I supposed to do, man? He doesn't have an ideology aside from being pro-West based, despite the fact that he's a West Asian man from a West Asian country. No, Cyprus is a European country. I identify with the West. I don't identify with West Asia. Unfortunately, it's bad to ethnically cleanse people from their homes, and that shouldn't be a controversial. I don't support ethnically cleansing anyone. You're fucking crazy. When did I ever support ethnically cleansing anyone? You're mentally ill. Well, Drew supports ethnic cleansing. Where did I support ethnic cleansing? You're mentally ill. Why is it that a lot of centre-right people like Suzanne Ley don't think replacement migration or even mass migration at all is a problem? They're out of date. They just don't understand how politics works. They're 30 years out of date. You're not white. You're Mediterranean, olive skin at best. Oh, fucking hell, man. Like, what am I supposed to do? I get sunburnt if I go outside. That's pretty conclusive in my view. What do you think of Elon? I like Elon. It's awesome that he follows me. I really want to do a podcast with him. That would be awesome. 90% drop in fish stocks across the Galapagos Islands. That's crazy. Drew is a Western jihadist. Okay, based. Fucking based. That's funny. White is based on European heritage, not the exact skin shade hue. Yeah, that's true. Drew is a Western jihadist. Okay, based. It's so funny. This is sad. Cancellation of New Year's Eve on the Champs-Elysees is confirmation that Paris is no longer in control of its public space. France's open door policies have had consequences. The once grand avenue, the Champs-Elysees, will stay half abandoned on the night that wants to find it. Yeah, that's mental. A state that cannot guarantee the safety of its public spaces is no longer fully sovereign psychologically or actually. Yeah, fact check true. France needs deportations. I know it was a while ago, but that Loaderbox debate, unbelievable how little leftists like him care about immigration issues and how bad faith Loaderbox is. Yeah, he's such a bad faith actor. And it's so funny. He was acting like I was mental because I said that replacing the English population and making them minority was bad. He was like, oh, you have to explain why making English people a minority is a bad thing. I'm like, no, you should have to explain that because you're a migrant to Britain. So you have to make the positive argument why the English people should be majority dispossessed in their own country. How did you become a Western jihadist and a neo-Nazi? How people are not a Nazi. I'm super against anti-Semitism. There's nothing about me that has anything to do with neo-Nazism. That's so retarded. Israel is ethnically cleansing Palestinians, and people with actual degrees in education, unlike you, with jobs that aren't sitting inside their father's home and spouting amateur nonsense, have certified that as a fact. Just a retarded Greek communist. Fuck you. He's just a Greek. That account is just a Greek communist who hates me because he's a communist. Fuck you. Yeah, I stopped following Letterboxd too. I liked him 2 years ago, and then I didn't realize that he's a full mentally ill, insane person. Like, he was railing against Islamists, the entire conflict with Israel-Palestine, and then suddenly, when it comes to Islamism in Britain, he just goes, oh, it's fine. Just let Britain become dominated by Islamic extremists. Like, crazy. What the hell is his problem? Don't you think that is a massive distinction? So, like, Loaderbox built his career criticizing, like Islamists attacking Israel and stuff like that. And then I pointed out that like Islamists going crazy in Britain is a bad thing too. And it was like, no, they're fine. That's crazy. Loaderbox like literally thinks that the grooming gangs is just a fine. Like he thinks the grooming gangs are just like non-existent or just don't even matter. He's crazy, man. Loaderbox literally like these were wartime atrocities. These were basically wartime atrocities against white English people, and he just like has no problem with it because he literally just like he just sees the world as blank slate. And Loaderbox doesn't think that anything bad will happen. Like I wish I could have asked them this hypothetical. If you were to swap the population of England with the population of Lebanon, do you think England would be as successful? Of course it wouldn't be. But he seems to have no problem with that. If you could somehow magically swap the population of Lebanon to the population of England, then like then England would be suddenly in a state of basically civil war like Lebanon is. I'm white British and I don't think we're at risk of being dispossessed. Dude, it's the current numbers are crazy. The current numbers are like in the next 20 to 30 years, white English people will be a minority in their own country. There are streets in Birmingham that are literally 3% white. That is crazy. Drew looks no different than a Lebanese person. But we're not even talking in terms of race, guys. We're talking in terms of culture. If you completely swap the culture of Lebanon to the culture of England, then England will collapse. Because the culture of Lebanon is broken, unfortunately, due to sectarian conflict. The two most prominent subscribers to the Lindy newsletter are Mark Andreessen and Luigi Mangione, two men with radically different views of life, two wildly different paths, and yet they are reading the same article every Monday. It's funny. I like Lindy, man. UK under 18 is 40% non-British. Within a generation, it's going to be majority non-English. And I just think it's sad that countries will become like majority displays. Yeah, and did you see Lona's tweet that if immigration is your most important issue, you're just racist? He's just mentally ill. He's just literally mentally ill. Crazy. Like, it's crazy. His take is so fucking mental. Let me try find it. Somebody should make this tweet for Lonabox, but it's just in Britain. So it's like, that's bad in Palestine, but that's good in Britain. I'm a democratic socialist. I'm not a communist. You're a communist. Fuck you. Literally communist. Fuck you. Okay, I'm going to make a Canva. I'm going to make a Canva on this. I'll make that later. Lonabox ideology is that Hamas is bad in Gaza, but Hamas is good in Britain. That's like Lonabox ideology for you. 35 people watching live. Thank you guys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I think this violates the oath of citizenship. True. This is Chinatown, New York City. These women are wearing CCP military uniforms and waving CCP China flags to demonstrate their loyalty to the CCP. That is literally a violation of the oath of citizenship. I'm a democratic socialist, but I have the exact same views as tankies. Fuck you. You're a communist. At what point did Drew indicate he has an irrational fear of Muslims? Never. I never said that. These people are just mentally ill. What do you guys think? I honestly think if you're Chinese and you support the CCP while living in the West, you need to be denationalized and deported. Sorry, but this is just true. Oh, Polar Treaties. Thanks for joining, man. Good to see you. You're a big account. Good to see you. Thanks for joining the show. That's funny, you can't. If your first instinct after being stabbed is to yell the N-word, yes, you're a racist. Great tweet. Great tweet. Tim Dillon against deportations. Loves Gaza, that guy. Hello, Paul Atreides. CCP supporters are traitors and national security threats everywhere. Yeah, well said. Well said. Completely agree. Wow, every dot here is a Chinese fishing. Looks like land. Oh, I don't know if this is a true video, to be honest, because I was listening to it and it sounded like they were, yeah, they're looking at Eastern China and Taiwan. Okay. Drew, would you vote Vance or Newsom spiritually? Of course. Vance retweeted me, so I think at this time, at this point in time, I have to support Vance. But I have to say, I do strongly disagree with his takes on Ukraine. And if I ever got the chance, I would try to convince JD Vance that he should support Ukraine. It's the wrong. He's taken the wrong stance on Ukraine. Yeah, I hate the Avengers movies, man. I hate the Avengers movies. I have to be honest. It is slop. Oh, this is a slop tweet by Ryan Macbeth. I've liked a lot of Ryan Macbeth stuff before, but this is a slop tweet. Why can't they just understand that mass migration is destroying Europe? Like, Ryan, I agree with you. Who's Julie Inman Grant? Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, all slop. Yeah, I don't like any of that stuff really. I've only watched like 2 Star Wars episodes, I think. Thank you, Paula Treaties. Good to see you, man. Maybe you should join the show sometime. Are my comments being shadow banned? No, I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them. Right, I agree with you on Ukraine and a lot of issues, but you also have to acknowledge the reality that mass migration from third world countries created enormous problems for Europe. That's just true. It's just literally objectively true. How do these people not see it? Annika Wells claims she fell asleep at the table during a ritzy Paris meal and ate muesli bars during her trip to the Olympics doesn't stack up after the taxpayer was billed thousands of dollars for expensive meals. She's like living an amazing life. And Annika Wells, Labour Communications Minister Annika Wells, is living a goated life. She's literally living the life of Andrew Tate, flying around on private jets, gold-plated everything, luxury hotels in New York City. It's kind of goated. Just the level of the grift is kind of goated. You have to kind of admit. You kind of have to admit, like, she's gone like full sort of Idi Amin, just like surrounded by gold, crowning herself emperor. Vendoika, hello Drew. I really like your takes. Glad to see you live. Thank you. You should subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel. It's very important. I would love to if you invite me. Thank you, Paul. We can do it this week. Just message me on Twitter and we'll work it out. Do you support Kemalism? That's a funny question. Like, I don't think. Look, I'm Greek. I don't necessarily like Ataturk, but he's better than the Islamists. He is better than the Islamists. Like, at least they secularized Turkey a little bit. Isn't it just amazing? Like, she's just living this like sort of goated life. She's living this sort of like rock star goated life. She's treating us like the Goyim. She's just farming us. It's awesome. That's so good. She's just living this goated life. $100,000 for a 3-day summit to New York City, expensive dinners and lunches in Paris for the Olympics, $40,000 airfares, trips to Threadbow, trips to ski resorts. This is so goated. She's living this kind of like goated rock star life. Her life is cool as fuck. And she's just like flexing on us. She's flexing on us. Annika Wells is flexing on us. Annika Wells is just flexing on us. It's her world. We're just living in it. $100,000 US trip for Annika Wells and her staff. Just awesome. Just like so cool. Just like awesome holiday. Just a goated holiday to to the US. I wonder what hotel they stayed in. Business class flights, gold sashimi, family ski trips on the taxpayer dollars. It's awesome. Goated. It's a goated life. Three-day trip to New York City, $100,000. That's so hardcore. This is what we're living with in America, in Australia right now. $35,000 business class flights, accommodation and ground transport. Oh, amazing. That's beautiful. Wow, so impressive at the UN. Wow. During the visit, she met with tech giants including Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon to lecture them about the Longhouse. Thank you. That's awesome. Wow, UN women. That's so cool, dude. Awesome. You can literally just do a Google Meet. You can just do a video meet. $450,000 salary. That's goated. She's living the life. $450,000 salary, trips to New York City, trips to ski resorts. $3 million on trips. That's amazing. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh, that's the E. Karen commissioner, I think. How amazing is that? She's just living this sort of like Andrew Tate lifestyle, just flexing on the peasants. Annika Wells calls us all Goyim. It's actually mental, man. Awesome smug face as well. $600 meals in Paris. That's so fucking cool. Good on her. That's awesome. So let's go through it, right? So $100,000 business class flights to New York City, $10,000 on luxury accommodation in New York City, $600 meal in Paris. She's eating like the gold leaf steak. Annika Top G Wells. She's living like Andrew Tate. Steak gold leaf. She's eating like the Salt Bay steak in Paris. This is like Annika Wells. She's like charging Australian taxpayer dollars for like the Salt Bay gold leaf steak. She's living this fucking swag life. She's living this fucking swag life. I actually have to admit, she's flexing on us. I have to admit. Honestly, it's so unfair that I actually have to loop around and say it's based. I have to loop around and say it's based. It's just like, it's so humiliating for us as Australians. The way she's treating us is so humiliating for us that the only option that I have is to say, you know what? Annika Wells is actually based. She's got the gold leaf steak, $600 meals in Paris, $100,000 business class flights to New York City, staying at the Hilton. Like, you got to say it's kind of based. You got to say, like, at least we've got like sort of African despot tier corruption in this country. Somebody is just showing up. Somebody's showing up. I was worried for a long time that Australia was becoming boring. I was worried for a long time that Australia was sort of falling off. But at least there's somebody like Annika Wells who can like sort of just like live this sort of like African despot lifestyle, flying around on a jet, gold leaf steaks, trips to Paris on the taxpayer dollars. It's awesome. It's awesome. Top G. Annika Wells is literally top G. He ain't checking Twitter chat. I'm seeing your tweets. It's fucking hilarious, isn't it? What a life. What a life she leads. It's actually awesome. Honestly, good on her. She's living this fucking crazy lifestyle. She's swagging on us. She's gone full Gaddafi. Full Gaddafi. Gaddafi, the Bedouin tent, the traveling tent. She's gone full Gaddafi. This is gonna be Annika Wells next. So like Gabby, like he faked winning the lottery. Robert Mugabe faked winning the lottery in Zimbabwe. Like that's the next step. That's where we're getting to with Annika Wells. She's gonna win Oz Lotto $40 million. Everyone's gonna go, wow, oh my god, Annika. You're so lucky. You won $40 million. It's amazing. It's actually so goaded. Mugabe. This is Annika Wells. This is the Annika Wells lifestyle right now. There's the Andrew Tate, there's the Bugatti, all paid by the taxpayer. Andrew Tate. Someone says my mic's broken. Is it better now? Can you hear me? Annika Wells living the jet set lifestyle. Did you see Milk Bar TV had a win against Andrew Tate? What happened with that? Ah, gee, I can't believe that we've got a government minister in Australia who's like literally just living like Dubai influencer lifestyle, like Andrew Tate, Bugattis, $100,000 business class flights, Salt Bay gold leaf steaks in Paris. It's actually fucking crazy. It's actually you've kind of got to respect the hustle. I think you kind of got to respect it. Otherwise, we're just too humiliated. A meal fit for an Australian minister. Beautiful. That's what Annika Wells deserves. That's what Annika Wells deserves. She deserves only the best. Only the best. Don't you think? She deserves only the best, guys. She deserves only the best. A meal fit for an Australian minister. That's so good. Oh, gee. So good. So good. All right, guys. What happened to Andrew Tate court case? He threatened to sue me at one point, but it never happened. Um, Did you see that 300 activist groups in the US condemn Shabana Mahmood? I didn't see that. Where is that? Let me try to find that. Drew, can you debate Zuma historian? Maybe. About what? UK. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it. Guys, this is Sanika Wells' average meal on the taxpayer dollar. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I'm so happy that this is what's happening in Australia. Drew debates Syrian girl. I would do it, but I don't think she would. That's funny though. I would debate Syrian girl. That would be hilarious. Tell Syrian girl I'll debate her. Guys, tell Syrian girl I will debate her live. It'll be so funny. I would do that for sure. I'll 100% do it. That'd be so funny. Debate Zuma historian on immigration. Like, what's his? How does he differ? Does he want to deport every single non-white person? Because that's not my position, obviously. So I guess that's what he's about. We've got 10,382 subscribers, guys. Please make sure to subscribe. Help me get to 11,000 by the end of the year, hopefully. Yeah, Zuma historian is actually full-blown Nazi. He's a real psycho guy. He is really psycho. I don't like him. I don't like him. This has been a fun stream. I'm getting back into streaming. I'm finding it fun. Got the Elon follow. So cool. Drew debate Jackson Hinkle. I already did that once. I would do it again. Drew, would you vote in a Nick Fuentes Hassan election? I'd just blow my own brains out. That'd be horrible. Is Hassan Piker wearing a fucking Mao dress there? What the fuck? What the fuck? Is that like a fucking Mao uniform? What the fuck? That's fucking strange. Fucking weirdo. That guy, he hates the West so much. I don't think Zuma Historian blocked me, but I strongly dislike him, and I think he's called me for me to be deported before. He's a cunt. I hate that guy. Zuma quote tweeted me. When? I'm looking for it. Where's his tweet? I don't see it. Where did he tweet me? Zuma Historian denounced Fuentes for saying he would not deport all non-whites. It's crazy. Abby Chatfield, Charlotte Walker, Joel Davis are the leaders of the largest Australian political parties of the year 2050. I'm killing myself if that's the case. That's horrible. That's so fucked if that's the case. Someone said Zuma Historian tweeted me, but I can't find the tweet. This is so. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to leave a like. Okinawans were hunter gatherer until after 1000 AD. Wow. Interesting. Great stream, Drew. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. Um, Drew, Zuma responded to your tweet of you talking about your cousin. What did he say? I can't remember it. Still laughing over the time you called Joel Davis's beard Chechen to his face. That was pretty funny. I talk shit pretty well. Guys, what should I watch? Should I watch some of the Tucker Carlson Doha shit? That'd probably be interesting. What was it? Doha Forum, Tucker Carlson. Let's see. Oh, watch a little bit of Rupert Lowe. That's interesting. Can you guys hear that? Is the audio okay? Please let me know. Hear it or no? PC audio. There's something wrong with my PC audio. Fucking annoying. That's fine. I don't know what the problem is with my audio, but Sunpug was wearing a fucking mouse suit. Strange. Literally wearing a mouse suit. That's fucking horrible. Guys, I'm probably gonna wrap things up in about 5 minutes. So if you've got any questions, please chuck them in here before I go. The assertion that the cartels are intentionally murdering their own customers rests on the very weird idea of how business works. Yeah, that's pretty weird. You think that, yeah, the cartels really care about the health of their customers, their rational, for profit seeking operations. Yeah, so true. That's very fucking strange. Who can defeat the far right? Abundance liberalism. I don't know about that. Drew, the Groiper curse is coming for you. Proud to be referred to as a leader of the hard right underbelly of MAGA in the New York Times this week. Very true. Very true, actually. Drew, have you seen Zoom Historian's face? I have, actually. I have. He's a creepy guy. He's a creepy guy. What's his? Where do I look it up? Yeah, this guy. That's what he looks like, apparently. Zoom Historian. Funny eyebrows. Funny eyebrows that guy has. Chad, 27-year walk from Chile to England. Think you could take him in a fight? I don't know. I don't know his metrics, man. It's true that Mao killed more people than Japan, and they still love Mao. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau. Strange relationship. Strange relationship. Very. I have to say, it's weird. It is weird. The left coming. I actually did think that was a funny meme. I did think that was actually funny, but Drew, how much can you deadlift? Not enough. Not enough. I need to go back to gym. Hey, have you seen my Dreams by Candace parody video about her rambling pertaining Charlie Kirk? I haven't seen it, but send it to me, please. While that repeatedly baiting people into insulting you in order to earn Elon Musk is actually one of the least unethical forms of monetization on here. This guy is pretty funny, I have to say. I'll follow him. 43 years old, no kids, crypto millionaire, smoking hot girlfriend. Name anyone having a better Christmas than me. Send it to me on Twitter. Can you please shout out my autistic gay cousin named Esley? Okay, sure. Shout out to Esley. Good stuff. Drew, can you debate Destiny? Destiny blocked me, so I don't think he's going to debate me anytime soon. But I would. I think it'd be funny, but he won't. We're part of the same civilization. We're carriers of the flame of Athens. Beautiful. I like that tweet. I'm going to retweet it. Off, folks. Is it? Awesome. That's pretty good. Cheers, Paul. Thank you, guys. I might head off now. I've got to go see my mum, but I'll do another stream hopefully tomorrow. And it's been good to have everyone on. Thank you. It's been fun. Thanks for everyone who's been watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you. God bless you. God bless Western civilization. Signing out today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you all.